Hi everybody, Steve here in Palm Springs, and today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about YouTube. This is a video I've been wanting to do since I started this channel about 3 years ago, and I'm finally getting to it. And like I always say, better late than never, right? I started my first YouTube channel, gosh, I guess it was at least 10 years ago, and I've been doing YouTube ever since. Right now I have 2 channels. I have this channel, my retirement channel, and I have my other channel, my graveyard channel, that I've been doing for either 7 or 8 years. And I was hooked on YouTube right from my very first video. And I've always thought that every single person on the planet should have a YouTube channel. It's free, it's super easy. Almost all of us have a smartphone right in our pocket. And there are dozens of ways I've discovered over the years that it can really improve your life, especially if you're a retiree. So I guess I should qualify it a little bit. Instead of saying every retiree should have a YouTube channel, maybe I should say every retiree who has a smartphone, a phone with a video camera already built in. You already have it, it doesn't cost you a penny. To set up a YouTube channel is completely free. All you need to do is set up a Gmail account. Most of you probably already have a Gmail email address. Well, if you do, your email already comes with a YouTube channel. So I'm guessing there are a lot of you who have a Gmail email account and don't realize that you already have a YouTube channel. You just haven't clicked to activate it. It's there. You just have to click, activate it, give it a name, and there you go. You have a YouTube channel, and all you have to do is upload a video. It's very simple, it's very easy, it's a lot of fun, and it's totally free. So there's really no reason not to do it. So reason number 1 why I think you all should have a YouTube channel is money. I know many of you have retired, and this really applies to you even if you aren't retired, but I think it especially applies to a lot of retirees. I know a lot of retirees, for financial reasons, have had to go back to work, either part-time or full-time, just to pay all of the bills. You don't have enough in savings, or you're not receiving enough in Social Security, and so either you need a little bit of extra money, or you need a lot of extra money. And so after you retire, you actually go back to work, whether by choice or by necessity. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can actually make money with a YouTube channel. Now, that varies dramatically depending on the type of channel you have, the topic that you have. If it's a topic that people are interested in and it becomes a very popular channel, it depends on how often you post. I mean, there are a lot of variables, so there's no way to guarantee that anyone's going to make money on YouTube, but I can tell you that I've made money on all of my YouTube channels since I started, and it hasn't been that difficult to make money on YouTube. That said, it usually doesn't happen right away. It can take a while. So if you need money next week, next month, this year, you might want to keep your part-time job or your full-time job or whatever you're doing to earn extra income right now. But you can start a YouTube channel with the idea that slowly but surely down the road, maybe in 6 months, maybe in a year, maybe in a couple of years, you might be able to make quite a bit of money. And a lot of the income is determined on how much time and energy you want to put into it. If you're doing it on a regular basis and you have a topic that people are interested in, you can have a pretty much guaranteed income coming in every single month. But typically it does take a while for that to happen. Currently on YouTube, before you can monetize your channel, and when I say monetize, I mean monetize it so that you can receive advertising revenue. You've probably noticed on YouTube they run ads, usually very short ads. Advertisers are paying to run those ads on your channel. They're actually paying YouTube, and then YouTube gives you a percentage. They take a percentage, then they give you a percentage of whatever the ad revenue is. So just as an example, on this channel, it's grown very, very slowly over the last 3 years. I started it 3 years ago. It's grown very slowly. I didn't start this channel intending to make any money. I wasn't planning to do that. Didn't really care if the channel made any money. But after I reached my 4,000 hours of watch time and my 500 subscribers, then I was able to monetize my channel. So I turned the monetization on. I figured it can't hurt to make a few dollars from every ad that runs on my channel. Making money is more important to you, then you can try to find a topic that people are much more interested in than just a retired old guy who happens to live in Palm Springs. Not a huge audience for this particular channel. Right now I have 7,000 subscribers after 3 years, and I think my first year, I didn't monetize this channel the first year. I don't think I had enough views or enough subscribers. I think it probably took me, and back then I think we still needed 1,000 subscribers to be able to turn on the monetization for advertising. And so I think it was at least 6 months, 9 months, maybe even a year before I was even able to monetize this channel. But I know lots of other YouTubers who start. They have a good topic and it's of interest to a lot of people, and they can monetize their channel within a month or 2 or 6 months. So it can happen very fast depending on the type of channel you have. Mine just happened to be the kind of channel that has grown very, very slowly, and there's not a huge interest in it. And my purpose wasn't to make money, but I still have made money. So maybe the first year I was making, once I turned on the monetization, I was making maybe $50 a month, and then went up to $100 a month. And in this last year or so, it's really, sometimes you get a lot more momentum after you have a number of videos. So I have over 300 videos now, and all of those videos, people still watch all of those videos, and every time somebody watches any of those old videos, ads still run and I still make money. So it's called passive income, where you create a video and then you're going to make money on it for the rest of your life. Or as long as the videos are still up and your channel is still up and you're still monetized, money will still be coming in forever from every video you've ever done. So sometimes it takes a while to build up to that point. But like this month is the first month that I'll be making over $500 a month from advertising. And this is in the summer, where I find that advertising rates are usually a lot lower, and I usually make a lot less in the summer. The winter months, October, November, December, January, those usually you make quite a bit more in advertising. Advertising, I guess advertisers want to reach more people during the shopping season, where people are buying a lot more. And so if I'm making $500 now, even if I never did another video, I would probably be making $6 or $7 or $8, maybe $1,000 a month in those months, in the better advertising months. So just to give you an idea. Every channel is going to be different. It may take you a year or so to make any money, and then after that you may just make $50 a month, or you may make $500 a month, or you might make $1,000 a month. I'm only talking about advertising. There's lots of other ways to make money on YouTube. Even if you never monetize your channel, you can still make money on YouTube in lots of different ways. And I'm not going to go into all those ways today. There's lots of different ways where people can donate to your channel if they want. I was doing Patreon, and I was doing Super Thanks, and even PayPal. Some people had asked me to be able to donate to my PayPal. And I did that for a number of years on the other channel. On this channel, I only turned on Super Thanks when I turned on my monetization. I just recently turned that off. I've just decided for myself, I just prefer now that if I'm going to make any money from YouTube, I just want it to be from advertising only. So I don't want anyone to have to feel like because I think sometimes people feel bad if they don't donate. I've had lots of people leave comments saying they feel bad that they can't afford to donate, and they can't afford to do Super Thanks. And I'm like, I don't want people to feel bad when they come to my channel that they can't donate, because that's purely something in addition, something extra that people just want to do out of the kindness of their hearts. It's not something that I'm asking for, that I'm trying to get. So I just turned off Super Thanks. I turned off Patreon. So if you want to support this channel, all you have to do is watch the videos. So anyway, I'm going on way too long about the money part of this, and I just wanted to keep these short sections, and I'll try to be briefer. And even if you don't need the additional income, it's nice to have additional income, because you never know how long you're going to live and how much money you're going to need, if you're going to end up being in assisted living at some point. So it doesn't hurt to have extra money, whether you use it now or you're saving it up in addition to your savings and your Social Security for things that may come up down the road. So anyway, enough about money, but I just wanted to start with that because it is a real thing. You can make money. I've known dozens of other YouTubers who have made money just like me. It's not guaranteed, but you can. Just want to throw that out to you, that is a possibility. You can make money from starting a YouTube channel. Okay, the number 2 reason to start a YouTube channel, and I promise to be a lot briefer with this one. It's the perfect cure for boredom. If you happen to be bored as a retiree, or if you haven't retired yet and you're thinking you might be bored, trust me, if you have a YouTube channel, you will never be bored. And in fact, you'll long for the days when you might have had a day where you could be bored. You'll never be bored again. There's just so much to do. And actually, that was one reason that I started my graveyard channel 7 years ago. I wasn't thinking money so much. I was thinking, I need a hobby. I need something to do. And I'm going to need something to do when I retire because I know me. I like to keep very active. I like to do things. So I thought, well, if I have a YouTube channel, maybe then I could do that after I'm retired, and that'll keep me busy. It'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a nice hobby because I didn't really have a real hobby. So I'm really glad that I started that a few years before I retired. I didn't know exactly when I would retire, so I just started doing it on the side. And I was so glad that I did, because when I did decide to retire, I already had this part-time job, hobby, whatever you want to call it, that kept me very busy doing as much or as little as I wanted to do, which was perfect. I mean, I think that's the perfect retirement job or retirement hobby, one that you can just do whenever you feel like it. You do it as much or as little as you want to do. So I think one of the big problems that a lot of retirees have is that once they retire, they're very bored. You have so much free time on your hands that you never had before. And now you're like, well, what am I going to do with all this free time? And after a few weeks of retirement, you've got up on all your projects and done all the things you've been wanting to do over the years, and you've caught up with those. Then you're left, if you don't have a hobby or something to keep you occupied, you can be very bored during retirement. Now, I can tell you, I've never been bored because of my YouTube channel, and it's the perfect hobby. Even though YouTube is very easy, now you may say you're not tech savvy, and you don't have to be tech savvy. You have a phone, you press the record button. You could sit here right now, I could sit here, record myself just talking about this like I'm doing right now. And if you don't know how to edit, that's fine. A lot of people post shorter videos or longer videos that they don't edit at all. You film your video, you upload it to YouTube, give it a title, give it a thumbnail. You don't even have to give it a thumbnail. YouTube will give it a thumbnail if you don't know how to create a thumbnail. So they made it so simple and free and easy that within half hour to an hour, you can have your first video, post it to YouTube. You make it go live so anybody in the world can find it, and then you just wait and see if anybody finds your video. It just takes time sometimes, and YouTube knows everybody had to start out small. So they are helping and promoting smaller channels all the time. So you can grow no matter how small you are, no matter where you're starting from. You could have a large YouTube channel. You may not want a large YouTube channel. I mean, that's fine too, but it is possible. So again, you can do as little as you want on YouTube, as much as you want on YouTube, but it's endless the things you can do. The perfect solution to never being bored again. So the number 3 reason is to keep your mind engaged, to keep learning and to keep growing. Now, there's lots of different ways you can do that, but I think having a YouTube channel is one really excellent way to do that because you're constantly learning new things. It can be really, really overwhelming in the beginning. So just so you know that, don't let it overwhelm you. Just take it one step at a time, baby steps. You've heard that before. You could upload a video today. After watching this video, you could go upload your own video in the next hour or two, and you might have a comment an hour later from somebody, and that might be your first subscriber and the first person that you start communicating with and sharing in the comments section. That person may end up becoming a good friend down the road. So that could happen right away. So don't feel like it's so overwhelming that you just can't start and you don't know where to start. Just start with the simple things, the easy things. Just get a video up there. Even if you think you are the most tech unsavvy person, is that a word? You don't have to be tech savvy to do this. You just have to maybe have patience with yourself. The good news is there are a million videos on YouTube about how to do all this. So just go to YouTube. I mean, you can go to Google or you can just go to YouTube and say, well, how do I upload a video to my YouTube channel? There'll be a video on it. It'll show you and you're like, oh, okay. Then you go and you do that. And if you can't figure out any of that I just said, if that seems too overwhelming, hopefully you have a grandkid, a grandson or a granddaughter. Ask them to come over and help you do it. What a great bonding experience, a great way to get your grandkids to come over and visit you and help you with something. They may really enjoy it, you may really enjoy it, and it can be a real bonding experience, a real fun experience where you're learning and they're helping you learn, and in the process they're going to get something out of it, and it just could be a really nice experience. So it might just be a good excuse to get your grandkids to come and visit you if they don't want to come and visit you very often. Tell them you started a YouTube channel and you need help. They may love that because that would probably be really fun for them and to do. So it's something that they're interested in. Overall, it's going to keep your mind, I think. I don't know if there's been any studies on this, but certainly can't hurt by keeping your mind active. You're thinking about things, you've got maybe little problems to solve, and you just take little baby steps, little tiny bites. You just figure out this one thing, and then you figure out the next thing, you figure out the next thing. Before you know it, after about a month, you've learned a lot. So you're continuing to learn. I think continuing to learn until the day you die is probably one of the best things all of us can do for all kinds of different reasons, to keep your mind active and alert. So the fourth reason is really my favorite, as your gift to your kids and your grandkids and their kids and grandkids and all future generations. So what I mean by that is you can take a picture of yourself, or you have pictures of yourself, and when you're no longer here, your family will have a few pictures of you to remember you by, and that's nice. But I can tell you, to have a video of you is a million times nicer than having a photograph of you. So take the photos too, but always take videos of yourself. And even if you only share this channel with your family, I would say probably 99 out of 100 families are going to be so grateful to you forever for taking the time to do this. Some of you probably could care less about having any memories of your family members, and you wouldn't want a video of your dad or your mom or your grandparents or whatever, but most of us do. And I know myself, for me, if I had a video of my grandparents talking and laughing and walking around and maybe sitting around talking about things, or going in the pool, or taking a walk, or at an event or something, I'm so glad that before my mom died, the last 5-10 years or so, I was filming whenever I had the opportunity. I was filming her and her friends and our activities and things together. So I have quite a few videos of her just laughing and having fun and drinking and joking and just being silly. And having those videos, it's like such a gift, because it's like the person's still there, like they're still alive. To be able to hear them laughing, to hear their voice, to hear them talking about things. And so you may think, well, I don't have anything interesting to say. I don't have anything that my grandkids would care about. Well, you're totally wrong. I'm sorry, but they're going to be interested in anything you have to say. Just seeing you talk, seeing you, remembering your voice, hearing your voice. I mean, what wouldn't you give to hear your grandparents' voice, or someone you loved who's no longer with us, to hear their voice again? I mean, that's just priceless. And so this is a gift that you're giving to your family. So you can create a channel that is out there in the world for everyone to watch, or you can just create it for yourself. You can make it private. You don't have to make any of these videos public. You can make them private and just share them with your family, and then leave them to your family. Instead of a photo scrapbook, it's just a video scrapbook of your life. And if you really don't want to be out there in public, or you don't think you're that interesting, but I can tell you, everyone is really interesting in their own way. But getting back to what I was saying, if you don't think you have anything interesting to say, I guarantee you there are going to be family members, people down the road, grandkids or great-grandkids, or somebody who's into ancestry and genealogy and the family history, and they're going to love hearing whatever you have to say. And all you have to do, and if you're thinking, well, I can't think of anything to say, well, let me give you a couple of ideas. You have your camera here, your video camera pointing at yourself, you're sitting in your chair, and you could talk about what it was like when you were growing up. You could talk about where you grew up. You could talk about when you got married. Now as an adult, I wish I had thought when I was a kid to ask my grandparents, where did they meet? I have no idea where my grandparents met. I would love to know where they met. Talk about where you met your husband or your wife. Talk about, was it a funny story? Was it just, it could be a boring story. It doesn't really matter. Was it by accident? Were you introduced? Was it a dating site? I mean, anything and everything, no matter how mundane in your life, is going to be so interesting just from his family history or just history in general. Your ancestors are going to be so happy to know all about, like, what was the price of bread when you were growing up? Did you really have to walk a mile to school in the snow? You know, that whole story. I mean, all those little things. Talk about, well, a lot of times people will think about, well, maybe I should write a book about an autobiography to leave to my family when I'm gone. Well, this is much easier. You just turn on your camera and just start talking, and maybe make each video a different topic about maybe everything you can remember growing up. You know, when you got your first car, the first time you had a kiss, who was it? Was it in high school? Do you still have your high school yearbooks? I mean, there's like a million things you could talk about. In fact, anything about your life, your family's going to be interested in. Maybe some things more than others. You don't have to be funny, you don't have to be entertaining, you don't have to joke, you don't have to look good, you don't have to do anything. just share. I mean, I can just tell you from my own life, I would give anything to have thought to ask my grandparents and great-grandparents and cousins and uncles and aunts, all the people in my life. I would have loved to know all about all of their lives. It's like so many things when I go back with genealogy now and Ancestry, trying to figure out like on Ancestry.com, we're putting together family trees. My daughter is really big on that, and I like it too. And Jim has been doing it with his family. But now, then it makes you think, gosh, how did this person meet, and how did they, when they had kids, you know, they were living here and then they ended up here. How did they end up here? Did they come for a job? Was it because of this? Was it because of that? I mean, there's just a million things that would be so interesting for your family to know. I think most people think of it from a very self-centered, selfish kind of way. Not that you're self-centered or selfish, but maybe you don't realize that you actually kind of are. I mean, we all are. We're all very self-centered. And you're thinking, well, I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I sound. I don't want to embarrass myself on camera. I mean, so you're thinking about yourself. Well, I can tell you, doesn't matter what you look like, doesn't matter what you sound like, doesn't matter if you're not very good at filming yourself. Your family's going to forgive you for all those things, and they're going to love you for the way you look. They're going to love you for the way you sound, and they're going to love that they can hear your voice. 20 years after you're gone, 100 years after you're gone, don't think about yourself. Think of this as a gift, as a present that you're giving to future generations if they want it. Think of it as a selfless gift, and probably the best present, the best gift that you could ever give to any family member. You know, all those other little presents, all those other things that you may give them, they use, they throw away, they forget that you even were the one who gave it to them. Most of those things are not remembered. And also, if you already have a YouTube channel, if you're a retiree, or even not a retiree, just anyone watching this channel, because like I said in the beginning, I think everyone should have a YouTube channel. So if you have a public YouTube channel that you would like to share with all of us, share it in the comments section. But please, don't leave a link. Do not include a link of your channel, because for security reasons, for scamming reasons that I mentioned in the past, I have my YouTube channel set so that if anyone includes a link, it automatically gets deleted. So I'll never even see it. It just automatically gets deleted. Just say the name of the channel. Feel free to promote your channel without any links, but promote your channel in the comments section. In fact, you can do that anytime. So anyway, thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. So good luck starting your new YouTube channel. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that at least some of you do that. And I'll hope to see you all next time.